Live Holden Cup action right here on Fox League. The Penrith Panthers kicking off to the Parramatta Eels. It is an Eels home game. They're currently placed 6th on the under-20s ladder. The Panthers are leading with 5 wins, 1 loss and a draw. The Battle of the West, always plenty of feeling in the main game as the ball comes free on just play number 2. For the Parramatta Eels, they can ill afford ill discipline in this area of the field, in particular against a side as opportunistic and as talented and structured as this Panthers outfit.
And that was our big man, Greg Lalesiwau, who had 218 running metres last week. A big charge there. A lot of numbers in around the football, and they've come up with an early error. And you're right, Andy. You cannot give this Penrith Panthers side too much football in good field position.
Playing it out to the right-hand side through Blore. Goes on to Reid Izzard. He pops the ball through to Munchow. Over onto the far wing of Brian too, who steps back into the middle. Still going right into the middle of the park, into the forwards and the little winger. Forward for every possible metre. Very strong start for the Penrith Panthers. And there's points to Carl Winterstein. Yep. Less than 90 seconds in, the Penrith Panthers have crossed the line. A nightmare start for Parramatta.
And it's a Tepai Moroa lookalike here.
Isn't
Big
it?
Winterstein up front, but it was the error from the Parramatta Eels. Lalesiwau that's gifted them this opportunity. Some second phase play early in this game. A great show of confidence, as you can see. The ball comes out the back. Hala onto Winterstein, too big, too strong, that close to the line, and Anthony Layoun, he could not hold the big man, and the first points go to the Penrith Panthers.
We spoke about the Eels' size, the Eels' power, and their presence in the middle of the park, but that myth has been shattered in just 90 seconds. Firstly, a mistake from the Eels, and then doing imitations of bulldozers. The Penrith big man right in the middle. It's not Tepai Moroa, is it? No. Big Carl Winterstein.
A big charge, and that would really be disappointing to Luke Burton and his men. They would have spoke so much through the week about having a good start to this game and continuing on with the effort from last week against the Tigers. A bit of a hiccup there. Important they bounce back quickly.
Dean Blore, no issues with the extras. Number 3 in terms of point scorers. Dean Blore, 5 tries, 25 goals in the competition so far. Cronulla's Kyle Flanagan, the halfback there, currently the top point scorer, going into this round with 92 points. Handy tally, nowhere near that Nathan Cleary tally a couple of years ago where he was averaging insane numbers before being promoted to first grade. As the Eels restart play, they do so a lot earlier than they thought. Oh, hello! Stefano Haller, 190 centimetres, 111 kilos before breakfast, and he wound it up, and this is Winterstein following. Egan. Out to this near side through the hands of Jerome Luai in the 7 jersey. That's centre field. Bit better here from Parramatta, really bending the back defensively. Fainga and also Stone. Kick it. Tackle number 4. Trapped by John Fanua. Smiling little left winger. We saw him score against the West Tigers last week. Do you settle things down? Do you just get to the end of your set and try and gain an advantage territorially here, Al?
Yeah, absolutely. I think you do, but the Holden Club players think a lot differently to what I do too. There might be a bit of ball movement as they go down the short side now.
Good short ball to Dane Akafalau. He spins it back and gets it to Anthony Layoun. Some enterprising football here from the Eels. Play conservative. Don't be silly. They're kids and they're loving it. As Madison goes through the hands to Afualo. Lalesiwau. He is tackled. Final play here. They go to Madison, pressure on him. They go back towards the short side. The ball comes up. After last night, I don't know if we can ever say the tackle's complete. But the referees have.
And you speak about an enterprising set there from the Parramatta side and come very close. You would have loved to have seen that ball come to Lalesi. Wow,
yeah.
One-on-one on the outside. We know how big and strong he is, but the Penrith Panthers, well, they hold on, and this is exactly what the Parramatta side can do. They will test you down the short side. A little bit of confusion on last play. They had that a couple times last week. Dean Madison.
Is Madison a step or two too shallow at first receiver when he's kicking, because the pressure once again very firmly on him? Does he need to give himself just that little more time?
I think you're right, and also Cameron Cry really needs to give him an option play 5 if they do race up and put some pressure on him.
Izzard back to Egan, come out through Blaw and Luai. Good hands here from Penrith. In some space, Daniel Brown, one-on-one with the fullback, and far, far too good. Long-range try for the Panthers, a beauty as well. And it is 10 points to 0 after 6 minutes, still the kick to come. And they are showing their class early against their Western Sydney rivals.
Well, it was a big shift to the left-hand side, and it was just a case of eyes up footy coming out the back. Had Lalesio on the wing, drew him in beautifully, and Brown, a slick pair of heels, steps back on the inside. Leune, no match for that, and he races around. Nice speed, but this is what the Panthers can do. You give them half an opportunity. There's some smart footballers in this side. Nice pair of hands to the outside. Footwork speed there to finish it off. They race around for the second try in early succession.
I'm a massive rap on any winger with tape around his ears. Daniel Brown is one of them. And what a way to celebrate a very special day, turning 20 today. The Sinclair boy. Happy birthday and well done, young fella. Number 7 for the season. Been in the system for a number of years under both Cameron Ciraldo and David Tangatoa. And in speaking to Cameron Ciraldo last year, he said the kid has got so much talent, but is so versatile. He's a wonderful addition to the 13, but he often struggles to break into that starting footy side. Another easy one for Dean Blaw. 12-0 the score. Doing it well, the Penrith Panthers, in this, their 19th head-to-head clash with the Eels. Panthers have won 13, Parramatta 5, but more importantly, over the last 10 head-to-head meetings, it's 9-1 to Penrith.
That's a huge advantage, isn't it? And it just shows the skill that they've got and how quickly, I mean, they can turn points. All of a sudden, they're defending on their own line, and it could have almost been a try to Lalesi where the pass goes to him down the other end. And then bang, bang, down the left-hand side, eyes up football, more points on the board.
Here's big Stefano Haller. Winterstein, the first of our try scorers, met by a 3-man Parramatta tackle. The middle really working hard here for Parramatta, but they need to. Madison over the top of Liam Martin. Now through Luai. Into Haller again. An unfamiliar name out the foot of the mountains. And the first error from the Panthers, kicking out on the full after 70% possession in the opening 9 minutes. Dean filthy with himself there.
And he was in the right position. They got some good momentum. He had the winger up there on that short side, so he had space in the backfield, and just the execution just way off on that occasion. But some good signs still from the Panthers, some ball movement, and plenty of go forward from the big men. Harler and Winterstein laying a great platform.
Ray Stone over the top of Carl Winterstein. Stone, the former West Tigers junior, grabbed a double last week in a head-to-head clash with his former club. It's Tungi Hawkeye, the first tackle. Sean Kepi, whose work rate is first class, most importantly, has not made an error so far this year. And I don't know if there would be many front rowers in NYC or NRL that could boast that stat as we head into round number 8. Good run there from Hawkeye again. Playing out the back to Layoon, who was swamped by the defence. Nicely coming from the inside was Bloor. Held was the call. The Panthers continued the push and the shove towards the sideline.
And smart work by Anthony Layoon too. I think he actually just took himself a little bit in a touch too. He heard the held call.
Absolutely, yeah.
Really smart football.
Yeah, I thought it was good awareness. Trying to slow this down as much as they can, Penrith. Kepi. 4, make that 5 on him, and they needed all 5 to stop the big front rower. They do by just half a metre. Launching himself as Tungy Hawkeye, tackled pretty much the same blade of grass as Tanisi moves into dummy half. They play it wide to Dean Madison. Layoon, he get it down, or knock on is the call from the touchy. Referee also in good position. Drew Altram and Josh McGowan, our 2 on-field refs. A very close one for Anthony Layoon, the fullback.
And he was right on the spot, called it straight away, the knock on, as you can just see in the replay box below. Layoon, and he does, he just fumbles the ball so close to the line. He created the space, a little show and go, just couldn't get the football down.
Luai popped his head through the line, the body wouldn't follow. The Bloor at first receiver, and involved. Now to Haller. A penalty here, Parramatta offside. Player was called out by the ref, involved himself, and that was Denzel Tanisi, the co-captain with Dean Madison. Plenty of pressure on Parramatta now. They trail by a dozen. Panthers scoring a point a minute. Luai. And almost got through the line.
Breakdown, guys.
Too many hands, feet, and stalling in the play the ball.
Not quick, wait.
The set restarts here for Penrith. Happy to take their time. Reassess and reset, and it's Winterstein. Starts this set. Egan. Bloor. Dummies to Reed Izzard and goes himself, then flicks the ball out the back. He finds Caleb Akins. Oh, Brian too. Too close to the touchline. Denzel Tanisi, a very talented young number 9, has many traits, I think, of the great Michael Ennis. Very eyes-up footballer. I don't know if he's quite got the same quality of talk on the field. That might not be such a bad thing.
He certainly is a talented footballer, and Brian too. He knew he was close to the sideline, just couldn't stay in field, and the Panthers, they just needed to stay a little bit more patient there. But I tell you what, they're playing with plenty of speed, and they've got all the momentum with them at the moment. This is a really important set for the Parramatta Eels.
Tuiafualo. Laying it out to the Lessiwau. Very rarely does he get tagged by the first individual tackler. He'll either beat them or the defence need to get numbers in. This guy was one of the standouts for Parramatta last week. Salisi Fainga, Macquarie Fields Hawks kid. He hasn't played a lot of footy over the last 18 months. I think it was a shoulder reconstruction. Came back in round 1, but then spent a few weeks out. He's done very well. It's him in 12 for Parramatta, making the tackle there on Akins. Afualo towards the sideline. Good show of strength from the defender there. Equally as good the awareness from the Penrith fullback. Brian too. And it was touched. So it wasn't an awful pass at all. It was touched. Again, the count restarts here for the Panthers into Parramatta territory. Reed Izzard. Now driven towards the sideline. The referee calls held. Tackle of Cryer. Or this is Haller. Stefano is tackled 27 metres out from the Parramatta line, centre field. They go a front row 1-2, the Panthers, because this is Winterstein. To Luai. 12 is Billy Burns. And the Park Spaceman is tackled 10 metres out. Luai looking for room. Back to Burns, on to Brown. And there is the Panthers' third.
Happy, mate. Happy, Ben.
Beautiful rugby league there from the Penrith Panthers. It starts with a big step from Luai. He brought them up when he was showing to the right-hand side, the big step, and it comes back, and they finish it off nicely. Look at this from Luai. He brings them up, steps off the right foot a couple of times. He sums it up beautifully. Burns there and passes it on the outside to Brown. Comes around for his second try, but the game's being played at pretty much two tempos. They're playing so fast. There's not much wrestle in the Parramatta's defence, and they are rolling through them. And on the back of that, the guys in and around the middle, like this young man, Luai, with footwork and speed and vision, the Parramatta Eels, they just can't keep up.
We mentioned the size difference between these two footy sides. Parramatta are huge, Penrith a relatively small football side. You come into game day and the coach of the side that has the size advantage says, let's bash them. Let's run hard and straight and run over the top of them. The opposing coach, the coach of the smaller side, says, let's run them off their feet. Let's keep changing lines, angles. Let's go in back behind the ruck. It's working perfectly for Penrith.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And take nothing away from Carl Winterstein and Harler as well, the big front rowers. Their big men are doing a wonderful job through the middle, but their halves are playing with so much speed and energy on the edges. They're just too quick for the Para side at the moment.
Bloor, 3 from 3. A kick from Dean again. And at this rate, he may well have some more practice before his afternoon is over. 18-0 after 17 and a half minutes.
And already for Parramatta, we're bringing on some changes. Reid Marnie, who's bagged a double last week against the West Tigers, usually comes on later on in the halves to add a bit of speed, and Tanisi goes back to 13 and ball plays a little bit. But Coach Luke Burt already called for some reinforcements.
Looking for a little bit of added mobility in that middle third. Happy birthday to Reid Marnie too in 14. That's him in the headgear. 19 today for the former Kawana Dolphin and Biawaf junior footballer. Oh, Tanisi on Winterstein. Ball's been dropped here. And Carl Winterstein does have an argument here. I thought he may have tried to get to his feet, but whether it was premature or not, the refs have said no.
Yeah, I agree with you, and it was a good shot from Tanisi start off, but you see Ray Stone, that second effort coming in, it could have quite easily been a penalty to the Panthers side. Either way, it's gone now to the Parramatta side, and they really need to make the most of this set of 6. They need to be the next to score for sure.
Out to Madison from the scrum. They have numbers on this side of the field. Afualo with Lalesiwao on his right hip, but the right centre takes it to the 10-metre line. Anthony Layoun moves into dummy half. This is now Lalesiwao. Junior Kiwi rep and former Gold Coast Titan is tackled. And back on the angle is Ray Stone. Marnie at dummy half. Here is the number 9, Denzel Tanisi, playing a running forward role. Out to the left-hand side. Good switch. Good try. Dane Akafalau. Towering left centre for the Parramatta Eels as their first try scorer. 18-4. Haven't had a lot of ball, they haven't had a lot of territory, but they now have points.
And what about this pass from Cameron Cry? It was a ripper. And Akafalau comes around, improves the position a little bit. All points are valuable. He would have liked to have come around a little bit more, but They'd be disappointed with that, the Penrith side. They've been so good in attack. They needed to be better defensively there. Take nothing away from that magic pass by Cryer. But they needed to hit back, didn't they, the Parramatta side? They were on the ropes, playing so fast, the Penrith side up against them. They get an opportunity, maybe a bit of a lucky call, but they convert that into points.
Dane and younger brother Noel, the Akafalau kiddies in this Parramatta system. And Noel is almost as big and strong as big brother. The young man making his way through the system. Cameron Cryer didn't miss a goal last week against the Tigers. 8 from 8, I think he was. Continues that success, another nice strike. Cameron Cryer with the goal, 18 points to 6. And a crucial set for the Parramatta Eels on the 21-minute mark coming. Do they get to the end of the set, kick deep, and try and force that Penrith mistake, or do they play what we now consider to be traditional under-20s football and go crazy looking for points?
I think you have to stick to your strengths, and they've got so much go forward. These outside backs like this man, Lelesi, as he gets up ahead of steam and charges into the line. They just need to lay a platform, get forward, get that energy and play it at their speed, exactly like they did last week, and this will certainly help.
Big penalty here for Parramatta and an opportunity for Reid Marnie to go downfield a long way, and that he has. 35 metres out is where the Parramatta Eels will start this set of 6. Good kick from the young fella. Addison to Tonisi. Denzel, the most experienced of the Parramatta NYC players in this his 38th game. Marnie goes to dummy half. Madison, Cryer, Ray Stone! One-on-one with the fullback. Not even a contest, and Big Ray. He scores Parramatta's second. We spoke about momentum shifts, how quickly and how often they can happen in under-20s football. And it has happened here at ANZ.
Quite amazing, isn't it, how quickly it's just turned. Cryer involved once again. I tell you what, Ray Stone, he charged onto this football. He got a couple of tries last week against his old side, and this time comes back on a hard angle, and Wooshka the right foot step as well. And inside the fullback, and the Penrith Panthers, Caleb Aikens, and aren't they happy? A big turn of energy and momentum, as you spoke about, Andy. And the Eels are right back in this.
Not only am I a fan of wingers with tape around their head, I'm also a fan of lock forwards with man buns. And he's doing it and running with it as well as any. 3 tries at this very venue in the last 8 days. And Parramatta finally have settled into the contest after a nightmare start. Cryer with his second. And there will be reasons why Parramatta has turned it round. There's also coincidences. Is it reason or coincidence that Parramatta has turned it round since that first interchange by Luke Burt that put Reid Marnie on the field, brought off one of the bigger guys and allowed Denzel, Tonise and Marnie to use their quick feet around the middle of the park?
Yeah, I think you're right, and I think they've just gone back to what worked well from the last week, just really charging onto the ball. Here comes Ray Stone again off the kickoff. Lesiwao involved, Reid Marnie, you're right, it's just trying to play an up-tempo game. They have to play exactly like the Panthers are playing against them. Here goes Marnie, runs out, nearly cops a bit of a high shot, but gets up. There's a couple of Panthers players still left on the ground in the backfield.
Yeah, one Panthers player still down, and the Panthers short on this side of the field if Parramatta are good enough. Philly Utoika Manu had 2 on his outside, opted against giving them the ball. This is Sean Kepi, and a loss of possession here for Parramatta midway through the count. They've been very much on their heels for the last 5 or 6 minutes, the Panthers. All of a sudden, they've got the football of a sudden, a little bit of energy, enthusiasm.
Yeah, it's disappointing for the Parramatta side, and now they've hurt themselves again, not being square at marker and giving another opportunity to the Panthers. You just cannot do this to this football side. And it was Billy Burns, the man that was still down in backfield, but he's got back into the line. He's okay.
Strong run to start this set from Tavita Mapalungi. Studying youth worker. Here's Luai. On to Burns. Up in his face very quickly, this Parramatta defence as Egan spreads it across to Luai and Bloor. Izzard running into the hole there, a hole that very quickly shut between the 3 and 4 man. Haller. Oh, he's over the line.
I've got it up. We're on tackle 5.
Wow, that was close.
Whoa. Oh, we'd scored points there. Burns. Pass, and try. Number 3 for the afternoon for Daniel Brown. What a birthday it is for young Daniel.
Well, we thought the points were in the middle of the park, and they've once again, their decision-making and their play to the left-hand edge here is coming up trumps, and the Parramatta Eels, their right-side defence, they've got plenty of power with the ball in hand, and this is the near try that we thought. It was from Stefano Haller. Does he get the football there?
Absolutely.
He certainly does. He got up celebrating too. The referee just couldn't get a good crack at the vision of it. Doesn't matter, they come around to the outside back, Daniel Brown, though he's got a couple to his name. Poor old Haller probably hasn't got too many, but they still convert that opportunity into points, and some serious decision-making on the Parramatta Eels' right-hand side defence needs to happen. Otherwise, this man's going to score plenty more.
A previous play, without harping on it for too long, it's either a try or it's a penalty for double movement, or the ref was just completely obscured. Let's go with the last. We've spoken enough about referees over the last 18 hours to last a lifetime. And his toughest kick of the afternoon for the brothers Penrith graduate, Dean Bloor. Three metres in from the sideline. Preferred side for the right footer. He's struck them well so far. Bringing it back perfectly. Number 4 for Dean Bloor. And it is 24 points to 12. After a run of points for the Eels, the Panthers have been able just to settle things down.
Yeah, and the Penrith Panthers side, they've been scoring on the back of a lot of errors from the Parramatta Eels and gifting them that field position and not just being square at marker or turning over the football. The ill discipline is hurting them.
Fanua with the restart. Not particularly deep nor challenging for Caleb Aikens, the fullback for the Panthers. Heard the collision there. Tommy Skinner and Denzel Tonisi. Chest on chest centre field. Luai. Found the lock forward on this left fringe. Liam Martin. They go back to that middle corridor. Mapalungi. Mapalungi gets to his feet and plays the ball quickly. As a result, it gets into the hands of this man, Reid Izzard, pretty quickly on that right-hand side of the field. Last play now for Penrith. They play wide to Luai. He heads back to where the ball was played, flicks it out to Brian too, chips it over the top, and a good result for Penrith there.
Yeah, come up trumps at the back end, and that's just one of the things with Parramatta. I know they've come up and they've spooked Jerome Luai a couple of times. You have to be careful with that. I know you want to put pressure on him as a kicker, but he is a hot stepper and he can cause headaches. He jumped across field to that right-hand side, and Brian too, a nice little kick in behind, but just something you've got to be wary of against these young halves in amongst the Penrith Panthers. They'll take you on with half an opportunity.
Tackle number 4.
Inside.
Not played at. Oh, they get the bounce. And Sam Martin-Savage, from a charge down, scores for the Panthers, who have opened this game right up.
And how quickly it turned straight away. Reid Marnie, well, he saw an opportunity to have a crack at a 40-20 without the Penrith Panthers fullback Caleb Akins at home. And just a ricochet, you can see he gets out, just ricochets off. Not played at, he's behind the football. And Martin-Savage races away. That's too easy underneath the posts.
I don't even know if it would have been a 40-20. Did he have the foot just on the 40-metre line?
It would have
perhaps?
been, yeah, it would have been very close, but it's probably not a bad play to drive the ball deep and try and put a bit of pressure on the Panthers, but at the end of the day, he kicks it straight in to the opposition, number 9, and the ball comes up trumps for the Panthers.
He was really trying to punch it downfield. Again, very much like our superstar former hooker and premiership winner Michael Ennis, who'll be here in commentary a little later, but Mick made an art form of it over the last couple of years of his career as he aged and matured and greyed a little. You'll appreciate this one. Ball from right in front. And 10 minutes ago at 18-12, it was game on. At the moment, it is by how much? 30 points to 12 in favour of Penrith, who came into this game 5 wins, a loss in the opening round, a draw last round. But the draw doesn't seem to have done their confidence any harm. They're playing confident footy. They're playing smart football, which has been a trait of the Penrith under-20 side for a number of years now.
Yeah, I think once they get their defence right, they missed too many tackles last week. I think it was about 60-odd tackles that they missed against the Shark side. They need to fix that, because let me tell you, they'll back their attacking ability all day, and that's what they're doing here. Every opportunity or every gift of field position that the Parramatta side are doing it, they're converting it into points. And we know that games can quickly turn, momentum shifts can happen so easily in this Holden Cup, but it looks all one-way traffic at the moment.
I like what Mappa Palangi has provided since his injection into the game, the number 15 for Penrith. This is the 17, Vondell Williams, Lealavave. From dummy half, the kick downfield certainly had the length on it, just didn't have the direction to challenge for a 40-20. Taken by John Fanua. He's wrestled back, slowed right down too, and this Penrith defensive line is biting down on the mouthguard at the moment. Chest out and muscling up.
And that's been a big difference. Oh, is that a crunching run there, and there's still a Penrith Panthers player on the ground. It's concussion. We might be
You good there? You
winded.
good? Wait. 3.
His front ribs have become his back ribs.
But
Wasn't this a collision? Oh, chest on chest. Vondell Williams, Lealavave. Might change technique next time on Tui Afualo. And Williams Lealavave coming from the field as Parramatta look to put points on. Madison, he spits it out the back to Marnie. Dummies left, steps off the left and gets to within a couple of metres. Right underneath the post as Tonisi moves into the dummy half roll. Plays it out the back to Cryer. Numbers here for Parramatta. Utoi Kamanu is taken very close to the sideline as well. Mid-count, Akafalau already 1 try.
Release the ball!
Play 4 now for Parramatta, 2 more shots at it. Trying to do it solo is Oregon Kafusi. Little kick through here from Parramatta. Nice eyes up footy from Reid Marnie. Probably a low percentage play, but it came off. I'm not quite sure the teammates were aware of his plans.
Absolutely not. The whole left-hand side attack was all way back waiting for the football, but he saw the space. He put it in. He's forced a repeat set. The execution was perfect, but his teammates just didn't know that the play was on. They forced a repeat set. That is the main thing that's come out of it for them. More football.
Stone winds him up. Little skip and a jump at the end of it before launching himself into the Penrith line. Here is NYC now, backing up the good work from his lock forward, popping it out the back to Marnie. He gets it on to Kafusi. Hits and spins and attracts the attention of a couple. Marnie to Madison. Over the top to Lalesi. Wow, beats one. And there's a little glimpse of the talent of this young man. He is destined to play first-grade footy. And a beautiful palm, a show of strength with not a lot of room to work.
I tell you what, he had no right to score that try. He was well and truly covered on the outside. Hardly any room to move. Madison, a nice ball, but the fend on his opposite man, Brown, who scored 3 tries himself. He'd be disappointed with that. He is a good defender and just didn't come up with the right play then. He's got to go low on the big man. He's so strong up top. But a great show of speed as well to get the palm out there in the first place, but have the speed to back it up and race away to score the try. And I tell you what, Parramatta certainly needed those points. But what about this? The left-hand fend, the speed. This great man, Lalesi, wow, scores another one, backs up a terrific game last week.
It's probably worth, in this break in play, just clearing it up. This is the same young man that was part of the Gold Coast Titans system. And the name Lalesi. But under clarification from Greg and family, Lalesi is the correct pronunciation, but it is the same young fella, the same young talent. And I think we will see him playing first grade over the course of 2017. The kick just a little right for Cameron Cryer, his first miss in some time. 30 points to 16. Back in the game, 14 points isn't too many, certainly not in NYC football. All of a sudden, a great deal of importance on this last 2 minutes and 10 seconds.
Onside.
Egan himself, the skipper, will restart. A huge afternoon and evening of rugby league coming your way on Fox League. Of course, all live, no ad breaks, whistle to whistle. It is the Parramatta Eels and the Penrith Panthers here from ANZ Stadium. Following that, we head north for the North Queensland Cowboys and the Newcastle Knights. And to finish it off, the Cronulla Sharks and the Gold Coast Titans. Every tackle, every try, every minute, and every moment right here on Fox League.
And a great opportunity here for the Parramatta side. A charging run from Ray Stone, and it drew a penalty from a shoulder charge. And now in some really good position. Just over a minute left till half-time.
Fainga plays the ball now. It's Stone as the distributor. Cryer, numbers again for the Eels. Penrith defence did very well there. They were outnumbered. They slid well, followed the ball. Cryer and Kafusi. Born in August 1999. We're not far now until the first of our 21st century babies appears. Just 4 months. Oh, what a tackle from halfback Luai on a big man in Fainga. Marnie played at Cryer. Tackled on the 0. 30 seconds to go. A test here for the Penrith defence. NYC is over and the Eels are back. Another momentum shift. And the blue and golds certainly back in this one.
Well, what a crazy game it's been. It's been all swings and roundabouts, hasn't it? But the game has certainly turned when Reid Marnie come on, and this little combination with Tanisi slotting back into the 13 position, playing that ball, playing back rowing role. And this just shows his strength in close to the line. There's still plenty of work to do in and around the middle.
I love this from any hooker, but in particular the young hookers, where they're positioned to pass one way, they're looking that way, they almost back out of the ruck and are passing blind to someone they know is just off their right hip. Very talented from not only the ball player, but the ball runner as well.
Yeah, you're right. It's the timing of all players involved, and the deception is the key. And that was what Marnie had in his game. He looked like he was all going to the left-hand side. Tanisi knew he just needed to hit the gap. Marnie served it up on a platter, and they got that just before half-time. Should go in just 8 points behind.
The conversion successful. The siren has sounded. 5 tries to 4 in this Battle of the West at half-time between the Panthers and the Eels. It's Penrith 30, Parramatta 22. Set to restart play here at ANZ. The Panthers 30 lead the Eels 22. 40 minutes down, 40 remaining. And Penrith defending the northern end of ANZ with Caleb Aikens and the first touch of the half. Wade Egan moves that dummy half roll. Parramatta utilising their size advantage well when they've had the momentum shifts, but this has been a concern. Penrith have really moved the Eels' big middles around. Solid contact there. Fainga. Also Marnie, defensively very strong. This is Martin Savage with 1 try already. Plays it back. Jerome Luai steps off his right, plays to the left. Got numbers over this side of the field. Touched, play on is the call. And Penrith with a repeat set.
No, don't 13. 13.
Ray Stone.
Come back. 4, come back.
Dean Brown pushing and shoving. And I think you'll find Daniel Brown has just given a reminder to Greg Lalesiwao, I've scored 3 against you.
Just too much in and around that neck.
Yep.
There from Ray Stone. He's an aggressive defender, but doesn't need that in and around Daniel Brown's melon on that occasion. But another set of 6 on their own try line.
I think post-penalty there, that was as much from Ray Stone about slowing things down and letting his defensive line reset. Will it work? Playing short to Izzard. A good ball from Bloor on this occasion. The son of Craig is stopped. Bloor again, and he is forced to take it to ground. A very good tackle out of the line. Sharp was Reid. Marnie over the line, claiming points. And the referee says knock on.
It's over the line.
Oh, he was close, Tommy Skinner.
Yeah, he was so close. He's had a couple of really strong carries opening this second half as Parramatta, they race straight out of Lalesiwao with the ball. Does he get the football down, Skinner? No, he just drops it last minute, just before he gets it down.
Irrespective of what happens and who wins at the end of this 80 minutes, 34 very talented young men out there doing their thing at the moment, and 2 footy sides I think we will see deep into September. And some names you'll hear a lot about over the coming years. Akafalau is through. Support inside, support outside, but he's dragged down from behind by Richie Munchout.
Plays in front. Drew, are you thinking anything else? Okay.
Drew Aldrum blowing the whistle there, and Josh McGowan, the assistant referee, offered him the sin bin, basically. Was it a professional foul? And Drew said no. We restart play. We do so through Utoika Manu. Marnie in a dummy half, a long ball out to Madison. This is now Ray Stone. Already won on the back of a double last week.
Release it.
Marnie. Tanisi. Low centre of gravity, hard to stop and even harder to bring down.
Hold. Go.
Only out to Madison. Pryor. Back on the inside, Anthony Layoon and the Wentworthville Magpie boy.
All clear, mate.
He scores Parramatta's 5th of the afternoon.
Well, it could have been so easily different down the other end of the field with Tom Skinner dropping the ball over the line, but a nice break from Akafalau got them into this field position. There he is here. This is the initial break by Akafalau. Got dragged down. It was Munchau, the man. He gave away a penalty. Wasn't sin bin, but they go to this left-hand side again. Layoon, the footwork back on the inside. And that's that man, Richie Munchau, again, who's come up with a couple of big misses. But it's exactly the start that Luke Burt would have wanted. He wanted the opening points. He'd want them to start fast. And they've been able to do that.
Nice work from the Parramatta Eels. Particularly impressed again with the unassuming play of the number 7, Cameron Cryer. A boy originally from the Shire, as we look at Anthony Layoon. His 6th for the season, 1st for the day. But the ball playing, the timing and the pass selection of this young man, quality footy. Not far off centre. Seen how well he does strike the footy. No issues there. His 5th goal for the afternoon. 30-28, a 2-point game, Alan Tongue. Plenty of time remaining.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I've gone for the new biro. I'm running out of ink. There's been so many try scorers and still so much footy to go, but you're right. Cameron Cryer, his pass selection's been fantastic. He set up that first one to Dane Akafalau in the first half. Heavily involved with Ray Stone's try. He's been in everything. He's having a great game.
Wobbly old restart. It comes down to the hands of Madison, and he immediately finds big Oregon Kafusi. We're yet to see Benny Varlu, the number 21 for Parramatta, a big middle that will come on to just probably about the 52-minute mark. Back from Alessia to the try scorer, Layoon. Billy Burns goes in for a shot, then comes back for a second. Toss to the ground. That's silly stuff from Penrith. They are a lot better than this, and as a result, the Eels get the penalty. They move to a 6-4 advantage in the penalty count.
A little bit of lack of concentration and some frustration creeping in. So early in this second half is sort of some real warning signs. Layoon, once again, a little bit of gamesmanship there. I think just taking. He did that again firstly in the first half, going in the touch and getting a penalty for his size, and on this occasion again, some more good field position. Here's Tanisi.
We had a good game of footy here. A real good game of footy. Hope you're enjoying it wherever you may be watching. Getting set for Anzac weekend. What a weekend it is. Parramatta to Akafalau through the hands of Cryer. Big Dane couldn't find a way through. Good defence from Tu and Munchau. Kafusi tackled on the 10-metre line. Midway through the count here. Right. Out the back. Layoon somehow ends up with it. He gets a ball to Fanua. Played at by Bloor. Somehow he maintains control of the football, drops to ground immediately and secures possession for the Panthers.
Well, he's having a bit of a battle there, Bloor, with Utoika Manu. They were pushing and shoving in the background, and all of a sudden the football's ended up in his hands. But a missed opportunity. They would have loved to have forced a repeat set. See, the ball just comes back on the inside, onto the foot. Bloor comes up with it. And Utoika Manu straight away trying to get involved.
He never broke the other tackle, mate.
1-2. It's still
Penalty
the same
here for
tackle.
the Panthers.
He may have, but you didn't. It's still the same tackle.
And a real shift here, perhaps. We saw virtually a 12-point turnaround in favour of the Panthers in the opening half. We're going to see the same here because Parramatta were dangerously close to points in that previous set. This is the reason for the penalty. Yep, 2 in the tackle, even though the first had fallen off the tackle. It's still regarded as 2 men in the tackle. Rule that's not always popular with fans, but them's the rules, as they say. The referee sticking by it. Penrith to the ground, and yet that was just a drop. Vondell, Williams, Lealavave. Youngster filthy on himself. It was just awkward. Yes, ball control is everything and must be the most important thing, but it was just awkward. Little hand in there as well. Even harder to deal with. Oregon Kafusi, I think we might say, has got away with one there.
Yeah, and I think still the onus is on the ball carrier to get up. I know there's hands in and around the football, but going back to that one-on-one strip that you spoke about, Andy, and I know there were a lot of Raiders fans filthy last night, but that was in that case that Joe Tarpany, he bumped out of a tackle and he'd actually stripped the ball in that second phase.
Lassie, wow. It was a little flick from Afualo and Alessi out. He should have taken that one, and there was space. He knows it.
Yeah, right. He's filthy, and you can't miss those opportunities.
Good footwork from Afualo.
Ball out the back. And Alessi, he had some open space in front of him. He would have backed his speed. You got to hold on to the football first.
A fair old foot race, I would think. Lalesi Wow and Daniel Brown. 2 very different body shapes, but both move across the grass extremely well.
Come out the same tunnel. 14, just keep your feet on the ground. In we go again. Same again. Okay, ball in. Out. Out.
Didn't even look like a scrum the second time round, but Penrith have got the ball. Matters little. Here is Izzard. Taking in a tackle or 2. Cryer down low. Over the top was Akafalau. Blore combining here with Williams Lealavave, who took that knock midway through the opening half. Luai out to Aikens. Continuing to play settled, controlled football for the early part of this set. When do they explode? They're looking to here over the line at the moment as Ray Maroon. He is driven backwards after being held up. A good show of strength from Parramatta. Final play, Blore. Now Luai. Chase on. Ran around Izzard. Wasn't an obstruction. And the Parramatta fullback, Anthony Layoon, driven back into the in goal. Will be a Parramatta dropout. So things just falling into place there, Penrith.
Yeah, and Anthony Layoon, he's a wonderful footballer. On that occasion, he needed to get down low, and he got back into the field to play. His just body was too upright. You can see Luai, he sums it up, just trickles the ball in goal. He's in field, but he just stayed too tall. He needed to get down low, especially with 3 Penrith Panthers ready to pounce on him. Drive him back in. And here we go, some more defensive work for his teammates.
Really good defence there from the kicker, Jerome Luai. I mean, really good defence. Urgency, technique, power, good stuff. 28 minutes to go, a 2-point game. A test of the Parramatta defensive line. Test of their character as well. They've certainly had their share of possession, Penrith, in this opening few minutes of the second half. Slammed onto his back, Mapapalangi. 19 is Maroon. Oh, a question mark perhaps over the pass to right edge back row Reid Izzard. Referee says good, Maroon. Through Blore, knock on there from Luai, a young man that's such a consistent footballer and rarely makes a mistake, but the pass wasn't ideal.
Yeah, the combination with the halves just going a little astray. You're right, it was a really tough ball, but they're building nicely. They've had so much joy down that left-hand side attacking. They were building nicely. The execution just a little off. You can see Blore, the ball just out in front too much and too low. It was around his bootlaces. And an opportunity goes begging.
Said earlier, I'm a fan of this young man, Tonisi, and his varying roles today, 2 completely different positions, and he's handled them both extremely well. His numbers are great. Cryer, Akafalau, Beats another. Big fella stepping and flicking the ball free. Madison tries to go through the centre. It worked for him last week against the Tigers. A little more difficult proposition through this Penrith Panthers line. Tuikamanu, Akafalau, Layun, it is the last. Fullback pops it over the top. Izzard, very quick thinking and good hands. Immediately on to Aikens. He then finds Brown, and Penrith playing expansive footy in their backfield.
Oh, what about this? One side of the field to the other. Chip and chasers straight, turning defence straight into
and
attack.
we've had a one-on-one strip.
One-on-one strip. That's a knock-on off Parramatta.
Off Para.
Oh, and a knock-on from Parramatta. A beauty. And he lined him up, Dean Madison, for just this, the one-on-one strip.
And there is plenty of feeling in this game and entertainment. Side to side. Here we go. The shot here, Madison. A one-on-one. Wow, he's called a knock on to Parramatta there. On that angle, you just miss it a little bit. Doesn't look like he might have held that.
Get away.
That feeling between these two sides, just as they come together. Plenty of talk, push and shove. The referee trying to sort it out.
I'm thinking they may well have ruled the knock-on as part of the strip, that he's touched it and pulled it out, then it's hit Penrith before he's regathered, not a knock-on that's hit the ground. Whatever it is, Penrith have got the football, and there's a little bit of feeling with 25 minutes remaining. Penalty here for the Panthers.
It's here. 19.
Silly from Para. What a huge turnaround. Mitch Butfield, only fresh on the field in 15.
I've been really impressed with Tom Skinner off the bench for the Penrith Panthers. A couple of his charges have been fantastic, heavily involved in defence. He's been great.
Ray Stone off the field for Parramatta at the moment, as is Wade Egan for Penrith. Benny Valu, 21, on for Parramatta. Solid run. Right to the meat of the Parramatta pack. Here is Maroon. Tackle there from Valu. Here come the Panthers, looking sharp. Stefano Haller bumps into a couple. Back out. Some second phase football. Numbers here. Out to Brown. He heads centre field as he searches for number 4. To Luai. Short to Mapapalangi. Last tackle. Out the back to Bloor. Numbers! And try. Brian 2. Collecting points. There was a question mark over the pass. You could hear the audio. Was it the referee? Was it the touchy? Was it the Parramatta players?
I think it was the Parramatta side. They yelled out. The touchies had a good look at it. Yeah, well, we've got to see. Got to back the touchy. He was right on the spot there. Does it come out of the hands backwards, whether it floats forward? I think it might be okay.
Yeah,
it doesn't matter. The referees awarded it. But what's some slick piece of play. The penalty down the other end of the field has gifted them the field position. And then a nice pair of hands. The halves combining nicely. 2 finishes it off in the corner.
Yes, Jersey 2 does finish it off in the corner. Brian 2. Very talented finisher on this right-hand side. And a 6-point difference. A big kick for Dean Bloor. Parramatta put up quite a fight there defensively, but just too much ill discipline over a 10 or 12 minute period. Hard to hold out for any extended period, aren't they?
Yeah, and they've both had 6 errors each, the Penrith and Parramatta sides, but it seems to be that every time the Parramatta side come up with an error or some ill discipline, the Panthers have been able to make them pay almost straight away. It's been really hard. They haven't been able to back up some of their mistakes.
Big kick from the 5/8 here. And it's a beauty from the sideline.
Work rate, boys, okay.
Dean Bloor. 6 from 6. This afternoon they're going up in 6s, aren't they, the Panthers?
It did not look like
No.
missing. He just comes into the football so straight and absolutely nailed it. One in the first half faded away a little bit left to right. But every kick he strikes the ball so nicely, and what a beautiful proposition that is to know that when you score a try almost anywhere that it's going to make it 4 into 6.
Oh, tackle there. A second tackle, I thought, on Haller. Could have very easily, should I say, been a penalty to the Panthers. It wasn't. There is big Stefano. Numbers are certainly up there. 13 hit-ups. Great for a big man. Hasn't been required defensively as much. Maroon, Luai. This is game management. That's smart. Just stop Parramatta right there. They lead by 8. Identified very quickly where they wanted the ball, where they want Parramatta to restart the set from. And nice work from the playmakers there.
Yeah, you're exactly right. It was exactly what was needed by Jerome Luai. We haven't actually seen it at all pretty much in this game because it's been so entertaining, and every time an opportunity comes with the ball in hand, they've wanted to throw it around. But the game management there from the young half, he needed to do that. They're in control. They're in front. They need to play this game at their speed.
Have a break. Just relax, okay? You need to put your arm around over the top. That's better. Bend your backs. Leave it. Hold the weight. Hold the weight. Okay, get it in. Out.
Tanisi making sure there was no push there from the Panthers or feet across the scrum. And if you want to use old school terminology. Cryer. Out to Akafalau. Tried to run over the top at 2, but Munchauer, that right-hand combination, very good, very effective for Penrith. Utoika Manu had his challenges this afternoon, has again been good. Cryer out the back to Madison. Afualo couldn't find the space on the outside of his man to set Lalesi Wawa. Butfield. Oh, that could have been really ugly, that tackle there. There was a certain lifting movement there. Unintentional, I've got no doubt, but there is just no place in the game for that. And I thought Mitch Butfield could have been in a bit of strife there. Luckily, he wasn't. Look at it in the replay box. 3 in the tackle.
It's actually Jerome Luai, the man that's around the legs. He pulls out of it quickly, which...
And he knew straight away. He missed a grand final because of it. Long-term suspension. Nothing to worry about there. Vondell Williams, Lee Labave. 5 metres short of the line. Downfield it goes. Good bounce. Good bounce if you're Anthony Layoon. Nice and easy. The fullback, quick to accelerate. Launched himself into the Panthers line. Made 11 good metres. Akafalau and Fanua.
We're under 20 minutes to go. This is where you need your backfield. Some of these power men to really get involved and really spark this side. Lalesi, wow, here he comes. Beats one. Big palm here too. Really trying to get him on the front foot. Get some energy into this lineup.
Good power running. They just need more of it. Parramatta. Tanisi has not stopped. 18 tackles, 8 hit-ups. In the top 3 in both statistics for Parramatta. Fainga, good one-on-one tackle, Billy Burns. Great tackle, as a matter of fact. Madison goes to the air. Allowed to bounce. And bounce for a second time. Taken by the Eels. The ball is still alive. It's on if they can get there. Lalesi, wow, turns. probably didn't back himself. It was almost like he was in two minds.
Yeah, you're right, and he just kept coming in field, and full credit to the Penrith Panthers defence. There was 4 or 5 numbers in that tackle. You needed to stop that man, Lalesi, and they got around the football. There was an opportunity there. They let the ball bounce the Penrith side on that midfield bomb. It come up trumps for the Eels, but great scrambling defence. As an error here now, the Eels, they've got the ball again.
Yeah, ball free, 8-point game, 17 to go. And tackle count restarts as Afualo takes one right on the goatee. Madison back on the inside to Butfield. They get an entire set to work over this Penrith defence. They're going to wait till the end. Akafalau. Beautiful. Johnny Fanua. Back-to-back weeks. He crosses the line. Being set up for quite a finish here. Parramatta within 4 with a kick to come, and Akafalau and Fanua with the 2 that combine. This is the error.
Yeah, Maroon just coming out of dummy half, and the ball just comes loose. But straight away, they turn that into attacking opportunity through to this left-hand side. Layoon and also Akafalau had plenty of work to do. Good strength and vision to get that ball away. Gets through the line. Munchow, 2 comes in. And Fanua on the outside. That's all too easy. Just hold your width and wait for the big man to create the opportunity. He certainly did this, and we're in for a grandstand 15-minute finish.
He's a big thing, Dane Akafalau. Popped it right onto the chest of Johnny Fanua there. Cameron Cryer from the western side of the field. Almost the sideline to get it to within 2.
But you need to be better
off
with
the
wrapping
upright. He just dragged it a little left, and it hit the upright and away. Scoreline remains Penrith 36, Parramatta 32, with just over 14 and a half minutes remaining. We're within a converted try.
Set 'em up,
Who's
up
got
and
the
down.
fresher legs? Who's got the confidence? Who's got the game management? A little bit of everything that decides the winner here. Ray Stone back on the field for Parramatta. That is certainly a bonus. Nice run from Lalesi, wow. Fainga. Marnie has dropped the ball.
Go to 0, mate. See what we get.
And the 0 for Penrith. Aikens looking to get around Afualo. Terrible mistake for the Eels, and one Penrith are delighted with and looking to make them pay.
Yeah, well, if you follow the script almost after every error or ill discipline, a penalty, Penrith have made the Parramatta Eels pay for it.
Oh, hello! Bloor with a pass back to Winterstein and a whack from Stone. Here's Sonny Haller charging his way to the line. Madison, Hawkeye, both in the tackle. Winterstein has a second go at it and held up as the call.
Tackle 5, held up.
Oh, big
8 to
Carl.
play it on 5.
Scored one, denied one earlier. And I reckon he got this, but just at first look.
Yeah, when you look at it in real time straight away, I mean, there's legs in and around there.
Okay. I give benefit of the doubt to the ref undeniably, and tackled here on the final play. They need to secure the ball, Parramatta, is Dean Bloor. Now, is that going to be the pivotal moment that turns this game, that changes this game? Denied 4 and definitely 6 points at this end of the park. Vainua. Really struggling to get to his feet there, was playing for the penalty as Madison combines with Cryer. They play further right to Salisi Fainga. Marnie directing Parramatta Eels around very well. Tonisi also calling the shots. So to this man, Cryer, Akafalau bumps into his teammates. It just got a little ugly there for the Parramatta Eels, short of halfway by 6 or 7 metres. Madison has been caught with the ball again. Slow to get to the kick, had given himself plenty of room, but the desperation... Was it Liam Martin or Billy Burns?
Billy Burns was the man. He raced out and put a huge amount of pressure. He had plenty of depth too on his kick, Madison, and he shot out like a bullet here, Billy Burns. He holds it up. He looks for a running opportunity. That's a massive play.
A huge play. Winterstein. Carl gets to his feet, plays it back to Maroon, off to Luai. Now it's Billy Burns, who we credited with that great tackle on Dean Madison. Had support there. Ball has come free, and knock on is the ruling. Parramatta are giving them chances. Penrith yet to capitalise.
Yeah, Ray Maroon. He's been pretty good out of dummy half, but just come up with a couple of errors of late, and it's Stone over the top, some aggressive work. He certainly helped that ball free, but it's in the tackling motion. Hands in and around it. Defensively, he's been great, hasn't he, Stone? He's been in everything. He's charged onto the football, but his defensive technique is second to none.
I love even the worst games of rugby league. Rather watch a bad game of footy than a good game of anything else, but I am really enjoying this. Panthers and the Eels doing their thing in the under-20s. Tonisi over the 40-metre line. Marnie out through Stone. Horrible pass there, under pressure. It's ended up in the hands of Lelesuau. How it didn't go forward or how it wasn't ruled for, I will never know. Parramatta may have got away with one there. Madison. Cryer. Kepi. Still the last tackle. Chipping over the top. Numbers here for the Eels. Very well read and executed by Brian too.
Once again, the Parramatta side really struggling on play 5. It looks like they just don't have enough time, and they're just a bit unsure. They haven't got the rhythm and the confidence at the moment, and some good defensive pressure, though. I must admit, some kick pressure from Penrith side. They've really targeted them and made it difficult, but some work to be done there for Luke Burt and his halves, because you can't miss those opportunities.
Here is Izzard. He'll settle things down, a real leader of this young football side. Luai. Lelesuau. Very nicely done. He thought he'd been tackled and was tackled twice. Referee didn't want any part of it. Some chain passing from the Eels, and Vainua was not far from bolting. Akafalau has got an offload in him. Panthers know that, and they get 3 into the tackle. Mid-count now for Parramatta. Utoikamanu. To Marnie. To Madison. Service slow there. Afualo. Tui Afualo, and a little bit of open space. Lelesuau is there as well. Was on the wrong side. The Penrith defence is struggling. They are about to be tested, and this is the final play. An awful ball from Parramatta. And Penrith...
Hand on, tackle complete. Strip.
Get the penalty. They were onside, there was no knock on, and the Panthers have got the penalty for a late strip from Ray Stone.
And this is the bus from Afuala racing down. That was his 4th line break for the game. He's been in everything. He's such a handful. I tell you what, Greg Lalesi, he was just a couple of metres behind him. There was an opportunity to get there in support, and then it was a really poor pass from dummy half, and this is what the penalty was for. It was for a strip from Ray Stone. The referee had called tackled, held on the ground there. Then he stripped the football, and a real missed opportunity. Here comes Stone. They've got the footy again.
A drop ball by the Panthers. The prop forward. Ray Stone, as always, in the middle of it. That's the 0 tackle. Fainga on the right-hand side. A difference of 4. Parramatta at no stage have led during this match. And at one point, they were down by 3 converted tries. 18 points to 0 it was. Cryer running onto the ball. So too Leon Akafalau, touched by the Panthers. Parramatta will get the scrum feed. They'll get the football in all probability. And they'll have another crack at the Penrith line.
I tell you what, there wasn't much in this, and there was more points coming from Para. Great work from Akafalau. He's been so good at getting in between Munchow and also Brian too out there on that right-hand side of the Panthers' defence. The Parramatta Eels' left-hand side attack. More opportunity here now.
6 minutes to go. 4 points the difference. Playing out to Lalesi. Bumps off 1, bumps off a 2nd, beats a 3rd, and a 4th is now challenging 5 and 6. Tackle 3 metres out. Kepi trying to barge his way over.
Huge numbers to the left, Parry.
Over the line.
Held. Timeout. Tackle 2, number 8 to play it. Held up.
Back here, 8. Back here, mate.
Prop forwards arguing over the football there and the rules of the game.
Go. 2.
Marnie, again, little confusion here for Parramatta. Who's organising? Who's the communicator? Tonisi, out to Madison. Plays to Utoika Manu. That is tackle number 4. Penrith so far, so good defensively. To Kepi, over! And forward is the call. Oh, the Panthers have survived.
Yeah, and I think it's the right call. It just looked when he faded away. Sometimes it gives you that indication that it's a forward pass. Let's have a look. Marnie out of dummy half. I think it was. I think it's the right call. And Kepi so close to the line. Well, they had huge amount of numbers when actually Kepi got held up over the line in the first case. That bringing the ball back just 10 metres out from the line. Panthers were able to reset and they survived. Under 5 to go.
A great finish. Great game of footy. Penrith working from their backfield through Caleb Aikens. Very consistent fullback. Really powerful too, good across the ground. This is Brian too. Reed Izzard. Second generation Izzard family. Wittgenstein. And into Parramatta territory on tackle number 4. They don't have to win the game from here, the Panthers. Oh, but they're going to try to keep on scoring. Ball forward and knock on. A couple of passes that probably didn't need to be thrown.
You're right.
In a nice way.
You're right. I think they'll be filthy about that.
What a ball, though.
It was great.
Wow.
I mean, it's hard to argue too much. You know, these young kids, that's what you encourage them to do, to get their eyes up and play the footy.
Absolutely. We don't want them to be robots, and I love their enthusiasm, their natural flair. But I bet you David Tangatoa, the coach of the Panthers, would love that play again.
Yep, you're exactly right. Now, what can the Parramatta Eels they come up with? Under 4 minutes to go. The clock's against them. They're just behind on the scoreboard.
Tungy, just under 4 minutes remaining, and whilst at school maths was never my strong point, Parramatta will get 2 full sets of 6 from here on in. So do you try and score here, or do you set up, if you're Parramatta, for your final set of 6?
I think they have to just play whatever's in front of them here. If they get through to play 5 and there's not an option, you drive it long, but you've got to back yourself. Who's it going to be? They've got to get the ball to the edges. Here they go.
Madison tries to dummy and step his way through the line. I thought he may have beaten Billy Burns on his inside, but the outside defender's very aware. Kepi and Cryer. Utoika Manu. Ball to Akafalau. He heads centre field. It's that flick going. Kepi over the top. Now Fainga. Lalesiwau. 2, 3 and 4 getting to the ground. Rarely is he brought down by the first. This is the final play this set for the Parramatta Eels. Madison forced to get the ball free to Cryer. Out to Akafalau. This is the last tackle. Whanua left with no choice, no option, and no way of getting the ball free.
Yeah, they just needed to get a kick on the end of that somehow. The opportunity had been shut down with a good defence by the Penrith side. They threw the ball around, trying to get it to their strengths on the edges. Can they bundle the Panthers in the touch? They can't. Akafalau, he's been in everything. Here we go.
Oh, and a knock on from Penrith. Caleb Aikens, the fullback, has given Parramatta a sniff.
Under 2 minutes to go. They've packed the scrum. They've stopped the clock.
Stay there, boys. Yeah, Denzel, stay here. Stay here.
You look at the men you want to control and dominate the football, but you also look to the men who are most likely to follow them. For mine, Akafalau left-hand side, Lalesiwau right-hand side, along with his centre partner, Afualo, are probably your go-tos, and they head to the right first time. Afualo. Smothered. Smashed in a tackle of 2. Well done, Richie Munchau and Sam Martin-Savage, sorry, it is on that far side of the field. 90 seconds remaining. Last attacking set for Parramatta. Benny Valu, in 21 with limited opportunities today, does his job. Fualo, taken. Lalesiwau still yet to touch. Runners the decoy there. Now it's Valu. Fell into the tackle. The 5th and last, and Parramatta yet to ask any real questions. Madison, Cryer. They need to go straight. And Whanua again caught with the ball on the last. And with under 60 seconds remaining, surely this is Penrith's.
Well, their desperation in defence, once again on that outside. All their strengths, the Parramatta side, have been going to the edges, and they give away a penalty. And this should be game, set and match to the Panthers side. They'll slow this down as much as they can. They'll be tuck it under the jumper and really slow it down. It's been end-to-end, side-to-side football, high-scoring, entertaining affair. Both sides, a lot of work to do defensively. They've got so much in attack, both on the road away. The Cowboys up against Parramatta next week, and the Broncos up against the Panthers, both up there in Queensland. So a tough couple of road trips coming, but defence is going to be the key issue. 2
good footy sides. We'll see more of them over the year. And I'm quite sure we'll see them towards the end of the year. The Penrith Panthers maintain their position atop the NYC ladder. Parramatta should remain in the 8. And at full time, it is 6 tries apiece. Goal kicking the difference. Penrith 36, Parramatta 32.